talk about astrology.
Oh, Anuj, this is not your forte, baby.
Okay, Mom.
What are the basic combinations to get cute little kids like you? Okay, bye-bye.
Great.
Hi everyone, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to tell you about childbirth in astrology. Is it possible to predict the timing of birth through astrology, or can you predict the number of children you're going to have after seeing the horoscope of a person? Yes, you can. For this, you've got to see the planets, the houses, and yes, of course, the transit of Saturn and Jupiter. I will be dealing with the houses first. What are the houses that you got to see when you see a horoscope if you want to see whether a person will be able to have kids or not? The fifth house plays a very important role. The fifth house, the seventh house, and the ninth house. These are the three houses that you got to see when you see this thing in your horoscope, and you got to see the influence of few planets. But let me cover the houses first. Fifth house is definitely because fifth house is for kids, it's for education, and it's considered the most auspicious house because it's the Trikona house. And the seventh house because seventh house is for marriage, and kids are the fruit of marriage. So we definitely consider the seventh house equally important because seventh house will definitely give you kids. And this is the main reason that in India and people usually go in for matchmaking before getting married, because this is what astrologers see in a horoscope when they're matching the horoscope, because life without kids is usually considered incomplete. So you got to see this very important thing in a chart of a person, that is the fifth and the seventh house. The ninth house is considered important just because ninth house is the fortune house, and it is considered fortunate to have kids, and I think you cannot ignore the importance of the fifth house. The planets you got to see are the moon, because moon is the karka of the mind. You got to be mentally prepared if you want to have a kid. Then you got to see the Venus because Venus is the karka of fertility in men. And then you got to see Mars because Mars is the karka of fertility in females. And of course you cannot ignore Jupiter just because Jupiter is the karka of children. So you got to see the condition of Jupiter, the transit of Jupiter, the transit of Saturn. So these things plays a very important role. So once you see a chart and you see that the fifth house is good placed, but there's an influence of some negative planets in the seventh house, so you got to do the remedy for the seventh house then, because until and unless the seventh house is well placed and the planets are getting some benefic effects and the situation is good, only then you'll be having kids. The second thing you got to see, and the most important, is the transit of Saturn and the transit of Jupiter. So why do we see transit? Just because Saturn transits in every sign for 2.5 years. So we cannot ignore the importance of Saturn because it plays a major role in giving you all the good things in life. And sometimes, yes, it's a planet of karma. It always gives you the bad things also. But yes, the benefic influence of Saturn on the fifth house, on seventh house, it definitely gives you kids. So let's suppose I'll be giving you an example to just make it clear. Let's say if Saturn is transiting in Sagittarius at the time, and you are still hesitant whether you should you should go ahead with planning a kid or not. If there is any benefic influence of Saturn on the fifth house, and in those 2.5 years Jupiter comes in, let's say, Libra, and it aspects, I'm just giving an example, it just aspects the fifth house at the same time. So that means in those 2.5 years you will definitely just be blessed with a baby boy or a baby girl. And yes, there are people who have been constantly asking me, is it a boy or a girl? And I usually tell them, yes, you can see that for yourself, and if there's more influence of male planets on the fifth house, then definitely your first baby will be a boy. And if there's more influence of the female planets on the fifth house, including the operational dasha also, then definitely your first kid will be a girl. And what are the male and the female planets? Male planets are Mars, Sun, Jupiter, and female planets are Venus and Moon. We don't consider Mercury and Saturn in this because we usually consider that they are impotent planets. And yes, I don't consider Mercury and Saturn in this category because I feel that they are impotent planets, and usually any influence of Mercury, Saturn and Ketu on the 7th house definitely delays the kids. And or sometimes if Mercury is situated in the 5th house in its own sign or in a dual sign, that is 3, 6, 9 and 12, and it has got an aspect of Jupiter or any aspect of Saturn, in that case you get a twin birth in your family. So these are a few of the conditions to be kept in mind. And yes, if you are facing any delay in your childbirth or you are feeling stressed that this is getting delayed, the one remedy I'm going to tell you in this video is to drink water of Garg Gauri Rudraksh. Garg Gauri Rudraksh is a holy bead, and you can find it easily anywhere. Buy an original one please, buy a certified piece. It's an embodiment of Lord Ganesha and his mother, Goddess Parvati. So it's a very sacred bead, and if you keep it with you throughout your life, I think so it can help you achieve your desire of having a kid soon. And you just have to drink its water every day, the first thing in the morning, in a silver glass. And you can also keep it in your puja room, and it is considered the most auspicious and most effective remedy if you're not having a kid. If you have it in your collection, it's considered the most auspicious and protects you from all the negative things that are preventing your happiness. And yes, you can drink its water. The method is very simple. You do not have to wear it. I never tell people to wear it, honestly. You don't have to look like a yogi. I tell them to drink its water. So you just have to dip it in water overnight and just drink its water the first thing in the morning, and you'll feel a change in your state of mind. You'll feel a change in your vibes, you feel a change in your aura, and I think if that changes, you will get the results. So do not have any fear in your mind. Go ahead. I think life is beautiful. You got to see the positivity in life. And yes, I want to thank all you guys for sending so many emails, and I get encouraged. I feel positive, and I want to give you more knowledge. And yes, in my upcoming videos, I'll be discussing a lot more. And yes, thank you once again. And if you like my video, hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel to know more about astrology. And yes, don't forget one thing, stay awesome.